What's up, guys? It is 9:01 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time here in Los Angeles. And it's Wednesday already, September 29th, 2021 AD. Anno Domini, the year of our Lord, 2021. Very cool. And I have, like I always like to do, a song for you. I feel that these songs are kind of deep, even though they're not necessarily Christian songs, I don't think. In this particular week, I'm not playing Christian, so-called Christian music or Christians in a band or whatever. This track is by OK. I've been playing OK this week, maybe even next week, maybe even the week after that, who knows? Because you guys delight in OK music so far, even though you think it's like a cat singing or a grandma singing or something. But he has what's called a crazy form of Crohn's disease. Crazy Crohn's, that's the worst type of Crohn's that you can get. And he had, or has, I don't know if he's still alive, honestly, Crohn's disease. But I think that suffering made him kind of deep, a little bit. Or maybe he's just a hippie. But I enjoy these tracks. I hope you do too. This track is entitled Devil. And it's from the 2005 album Low Road. It's part one, two-part album named Low Road and High Road. I hope you enjoy Devil by OK. Nice.
We're killing you, just like we're killing me. But what can we do? We're who we're supposed to be. We're killing you, just like we're killing me. But what can we do? We're who we're supposed to be. There's a devil around you all of the time. There is nothing to fear, nothing's wrong with your mind. There's a devil around you all of the time. There is nothing to fear, nothing's wrong with your mind. There's a devil around you all of the time. There is nothing to fear, nothing's wrong with your mind. There's a devil around you all of the time. There is nothing to fear, nothing's wrong with your mind. There's a devil around you all of the time. There is nothing to fear, nothing's wrong with your mind. There's a devil around you all of the time. There is nothing to fear, nothing's wrong with your mind.
Don't play any music that is named Devil, please, hey? Isn't that enemy known to kill, steal, and destroy? Yeah. Okay is not okay. I hope you enjoyed that. Some people are cringing, disturbing. But anyway, guys. Anyway, let's get right on with the show!
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how are you guys doing? I am fine. I hope you enjoyed my OK music so far. I have some things to share with you, including an NBA player. Do you want to hear an NBA player? Oh, someday I want to show you guys those pictures of that goofy, not morally straight-looking photo shoot of Obama with that guy, Steph Curry, who's supposed to be like an upstanding Christian young man, talented basketball player. What a mess. But I saw some funny responses here that I wanted to respond to, or at least read to you guys. But my computer's freezing up. So we'll put that aside for now. Let me get right to this. I have to share with you a bad example. A bad example, people. And by the way, I heard that YouTube is going to be censoring something like stuff that should be censored. Let's be honest, right? It's people who don't go along with the medical consensus. Because medicine is a consensus. And science is a consensus. And if you deviate from the scientific consensus, well, obviously, then you're spreading disinformation, misinformation. You should be censored. It's ridiculous. You ever heard of Galileo? Chump. I think he said that the earth is round and the earth is not the center of the universe. And he was censored by the supposedly religious consensus is what I heard, but I don't know. It's hard to know if history is real since the news that we hear so often is, biased. Let's just call it biased. But anyway, YouTube is rightly censoring stuff that's not good. I heard that they're censoring Dr. Joseph Mercola. And some of you guys think that he's a good doctor. That Joseph Mercola guy? Psh, give me a break. And here's another bad example. A black guy. Jonathan Isaac. You guys were telling me that he's a Christian and he did not kneel for the Georgia-Florida thing, which that sounded fine to me. But now I'm learning that he's an anti-vaxxer. I was praising him yesterday because he was falsely smeared by the Rolling Stone as an anti-vaxxer. And it was actually a reasoning because he's a young man and fit and stuff like that. And he already had the China virus, so he had what they call antibodies. But we all know that antibodies wane over time. And Dr. Fauci said that if you get the vaccine, so-called vaccine, after getting the China virus, then you have even more immunity or whatever, or defenses. I'm being a little bit sarcastic right now. Well, here's some clips of him from a couple of days ago, I guess, at a hearing. It's not a hearing. It's a news conference, media conference. These basketball players sit at a table with a mic, and this guy is a Orlando Magic player, 23 years old, I think, has that wild black hair. He's a Christian, though. He's well-meaning seeming. And here he shares his full thoughts, clip 11A. This is from Beyond the RK on Twitter, shared this video clip of him being asked by mainstream media journalists, real journalists. Jonathan Isaac, basketball player, black, shares his full thoughts on vaccinations and addresses the Rolling Stone article that I mentioned. I don't have anything concrete from it because I don't have a Rolling Stone subscription and I'm not that interested. I know that they had to retract an article, a fake news article about a rape on campus, right? Well, it's ridiculous. And he says, I'm not anti-vax. I'm not anti-medicine. I'm not anti-science. I didn't come to my current vaccination status by studying Black history or watching Donald Trump press conferences. Here's Jonathan Isaac responding to a question about his being smeared as an anti-vaxxer by the Rolling Stone. Listen to this.
Jonathan, Jamie Say, WKMG. Wondering if you can comment on the Rolling Stone article and your comments that appeared on that about you not getting a vaccination, why you don't want to get a vaccination, and were you misquoted in that article?
I would start by saying that I was pretty badly misrepresented in the Rolling Stone article, and because of that, I can understand anyone who may say they don't transparently or overtly trust the media. In a frustrated tweet yesterday, I had noted that true journalism was dying. And to that, I would say that I appreciate every single one of you, those that try their best to correctly share the thoughts, the ideas, and the heart of the people that they're asking questions of. I'm not anti-vax. I'm not anti-medicine. I'm not anti-science. I didn't come to my current vaccination status by studying Black history or watching Donald Trump press conferences. I have nothing but the utmost respect for every healthcare worker and person in Orlando and all across the world that have worked tirelessly to keep us safe. My mom has worked in healthcare for a really long time. I thank God, I'm grateful that I live in a society where vaccines are possible and we can protect ourselves and have the means to protect ourselves in the first place. But with that being said, it is my belief that the vaccine status of every person should be their own choice and completely up to them without bullying, without being pressured, or without being forced into doing so. I'm not ashamed to say that I'm uncomfortable with taking the vaccine at this time. I think that we're all different. We all come from different places. We've all had different experiences and hold dear to different beliefs. And what it is that you do with your body when it comes to putting medicine in there should be your choice, free of the ridicule and the opinion of others.
Isn't that nice? What kind of fro is that? Asks Willie Palomino. Yeah, he's wearing his hair's kind of wild. Apologies if the clip was a little bit quiet. I tried to keep it not too loud, because lately my clips have been too loud, but now they're a touch on the quiet side for some people's taste. A lot of people saying, no, it's fine. But a lot of you guys, Noah's Ark Kansas says had his stream muted. What the heck? What's up, Lisa, over there on in the Facebook crew? Nice to see you. Here's one more clip from that same news conference. This guy talking about trying to claim that he's not an anti-vaxxer. Somebody said, I thought he was going to cuck. Cuck means betray what's right in favor of what's wrong, just under pressure, right? Or under not much pressure. It doesn't take much pressure for people to be simps for evil nowadays, right? Sound was fine, says Willie. Well, thank you, man. Listen to this, and listen closely because I may have put it out on the quiet side. This is another clip from Beyond the RK on Twitter. Jonathan Isaac shares that he's had the China virus in the past when answering a question on vaccine hesitancy. Another couple of minutes here. Bear with me and enjoy a young man who, in my opinion, honestly, he's looked into it. And he's a young, fit, healthy man. So go on.
Jonathan, Josh Robbins with The Athletic. What is it about the vaccine that makes you hesitant to get it?
I would start with I've had COVID in the past, and so our understanding of antibodies, of natural immunity has changed a great deal from the onset of the pandemic, and is still evolving. I understand that the vaccine would help if you catch COVID, and you'll be able to have less symptoms from contracting it. But with me having COVID in the past and having antibodies with my current age group and physical fitness level, it's not necessarily a fear of mine. Taking the vaccine, like I said, it would decrease my chances of having a severe reaction, but it does open me up to the, albeit rare chance, but the possibility of having an adverse reaction to the vaccine itself. I don't believe that being unvaccinated means infected, or being vaccinated means uninfected. You can still catch COVID with or without not having the vaccine. I would say, honestly, the craziness of it all, in terms of not being able to say that it should be everybody's fair choice without being demeaned or talked crazy to, doesn't make one comfortable to do what said person is telling them to do. Yeah, I would say that's a couple of the reasons that, I would say I'm hesitant at this time, but at the end of the day, I don't feel that it is, anyone's reason to come out and say, well, this is why or this is not why. It should just be their decision, and loving your neighbors, not just loving those that agree with you or look like you or move in the same way that you do. It's loving those who don't.
Dr. ADD says, whoa, Hake has gotten a lot darker since yesterday. Yeah, and I got arms too now. Lisa says, as Kurt Cobain said, we're all sick and contagious. Yeah. Interesting, huh? So that guy was a bad example, guys. Cringe. Chris is cringing. That guy was a bad example. I have to quickly turn around, and he was talking about love one another and, these people trying to force you to do something and calling you selfish if you don't. By the way, let me read some Twitter reactions to bring some sanity back to the situation. Because this guy is clearly, this man, 23-year-old male, should I say, is clearly insane. Let me read some Twitter reactions for you. Steve Kastenbaum, with a K, Kastenbaum, says the things J. Judah Isaac said are true. Judah? Is this guy a black Hebrew Israelite? Why is his name Judah? Jonathan Judah Isaac, I guess? Anyway, are true. Also true, natural immunity decreases over time. Well, so too does the vaccine immunity. And in fact, it seems like vaccine so-called immunity decreases faster over time. That's what I hear, according to all these people. But I don't know. Natural immunity plus vaccination equals broader immunity. That's what that guy already said. Steve, this Jonathan Isaac said that. Oh, I know that according to people that if I get the vaccine, even though I've already had the China virus, I'll even lessen my chances of having severe reaction to the, should I get the virus. But there's an albeit rare chance, there's a chance, a risk, albeit rare, that I may have a reaction to the vaccine, so-called vaccine itself, he said. And they admit that there's a rare possibility of, for young men under 30, this guy's 23, myocarditis, heart inflammation. Anyway, he can contract COVID, says Steve Kastenbaum. These are reply guys to this video. He can contract COVID and host a random mutation that creates a worse strain of the virus. Getting vaccinated protects the people around you, says Steve Kastenbaum. Did you know that? That's what they're claiming, is you getting the China virus vaccine protects the people around you because then you're you have less severe symptoms. But with this so-called Delta variant, I don't know if that's necessarily true, because Fauci, I think it was Fauci? Yeah, Fauci said, and my only authoritative source for this content is Fauci. Dr. Fauci, the guy who's a fan of Rachel Maddow, the lesbian, and he's also a fan of Hillary Clinton. And he hated working under Trump because Trump gave too much pressure to people. Chris asks, skateboard white Chris, kickflip Chris, galaxy brain Chris asked, were a lot of people still catching polio after they got the polio vaccine? Did they need 2, 3, 4 shots? Yeah, I don't know. I've heard that you do need another booster shot for tetanus. So should we get rid of the tetanus shot? Tetanus booster shots every 10 years, though, not every 4 to 6 or 8 months. So tetanus booster shots every 10 years, if I remember correctly, because tetanus is when you step on a rusty nail and it goes into your skin. It can get infected and you can get tetanus. That's lockjaw or something, or one of the things. You get lockjaw. So you're all messed up. You need to get a booster shot. So boosters are not unheard of, you anti-vaxxer idiots. Can I say idiots? I'm playing around, guys. Don't get offended. But yeah, I think that polio thing, and then nowadays, is it true that they just put a few drops in your tongue and then you're immune to the polio thing? Polio was debilitating. That was like a serious, actually, even to me, kind of scary disease. This thing, if you're young and fit and healthy, or even if you're just fit and healthy and not necessarily young, your risk from this thing, it doesn't seem so extreme. Anyway, here's more reply, guys. Well, everything he said is right, but one thing that lowers the chance to get it and transmit it. And that outweighs by far everything else he said. Not true, Oliver. This guy, Oliver. O. Reichert, one. A guy who's wearing a mask. I wish I could show you guys this guy's face. Maybe I'll drag this thing into the folder just so you guys can see what this person looks like. Jonathan Isaac, dumb tweet reactions. I just dragged it into the main folder. And I'm looking at this second tweet, if you can zoom in on this guy's face while I'm reading his reaction. Oliver O. Reichert tweeted September 28th in response to Art Valley 818. Some guy from San Fernando Valley, I guess. 818, that's San Fernando Valley, right? I think. I used to be 818, but then they changed it to 626. We're talking about area codes here in the Los Angeles area. Well, everything he said is right, but one thing that it lowers the chance to get and transmit it, and that outweighs by far everything else he said. The rest of his points are well articulated, but still inferior to the risk that he puts others in by not getting this so-called vaccine. But that's honestly, in my opinion, or in my perception of what the experts are saying, like I said, I don't know if I finished this point. Fauci claimed that the Delta variant, people who get tested and have the disease, even if they are not necessarily showing as much symptoms, have the same viral load. Did it put in? Yeah, did the tweet thread go in there? Do you see it? Okay, yeah, he had to. We're doing it over the network, and the network doesn't always refresh. This Oliver Reichert guy, and same with the guy above him, Stephen Kastenbaum, claim that getting vaccinated protects the people around you, and you are putting others at risk when you don't get this vaccine. But Fauci said that if you do have the vaccine, but you still have a breakthrough case, you still have the same, according to the Fauci, in the Delta variant, viral load, meaning you're still shedding the same amount of virus onto others, is what it sounded like Fauci was saying. Huh, interesting, huh? Some dumb pink shirt wearing liberal guy named Joshua Woodson says, now the shut up and dribble crowd are applauding him, LMAO, which is a vulgar way of saying he's laughing a lot. Joshua Woodson. This guy did not presume to just speak out on this issue. He was smeared by the Rolling Stone, who interviewed him, I guess. I don't know if what he may have said before the Rolling Stone article came out, granted. And then these people are asking him, and he's responding. And he's not pushing anything on anybody. Joshua Woodson, what a dumb liberal. The shut up and dribble is a reference to probably some conservative female host in Fox News who told that evil sucker mama's boy, LeBron James, to shut up and dribble. Because that guy is pushing the phony Black Lives Matter narrative. A sucker, an evil person. LeBron James? Nice. Viral load mainly resides up high in the nasal passages, says Lisa Fox. So maybe they're not shedding as much. Thank you, Lisa, for the correction. Jib Jab says, now J&J, Johnson & Johnson officials are confirming that blood clots are associated with theirs. They're the ones with the single dose. It doesn't change your... The Johnson & Johnson one doesn't change your, whatever they call it. Your DNA. Shane Bad Keyboard Warrior Milson says, sports people are not immunologists or medical experts. Your opinion is not equivalent or even valid when compared with literal years of experience in prevention and treatment of infectious respiratory diseases. An immunologist isn't making recommendations to the NBA clown. This dumb guy who looks like he's fat, Shane. And he wants to listen to experts who are subverted and liberal. So I guess as long as he says what the right-wingers want to hear, says Chicano, not Latinx, it's not shut up and dribble? These phony people. Aren't athletes supposed to stay in their lane, or do we listen to and applaud them only when they agree with us? Ironic given his last statement, says David Locke. Dumb liberals, huh? It's hard to believe. Well, they're on Twitter. So that's bad example, Jonathan Isaac, not getting the vaccine because he's healthy and fit and already had the China virus and doesn't want to risk what young men have a little bit of a greater risk, or quite a bit greater risk compared to others, of the myocarditis, the heart inflammation, and other things. Who knows? Long-term effects are not studied. And he's a young, fit man. And protecting people means don't go into one another, and yourself means don't be going into crowds. Right? Give me a break. Don't be hanging around the old people too much. Everybody's like, oh, it was such a tragedy. The grandmothers couldn't see their grandchildren. They don't need to be. That's part of the problem. And the mothers can't see their adult children. They don't need to be. Why are so many people, here's another set of responses. Why are so many people asking the NBA players about this? Second one I've seen today. Good question. And you know what? That is a response. And I don't have this one in the folder. You don't have to look for it. I put it in the don't show folder. I have like a whole section of don't show stuff. Just because it's just boring stuff. But they're asking NBA players, I bet, because they're pushing the blacks to get it. Because blacks don't really pay attention to the news, I guess. Unless it's race stuff. There are some who religiously watch MSNBC, CNN. There are some blacks, liberals, who even listen to the Hake Report frequently. Oh, Epstein's ghost. That's gross, man. And so they're more up to date on what the mainstream media is saying, including those listening to my show, because I share the fake news with you liberally. But they're pushing it because the blacks don't, one, they don't pay that much attention. Two, they don't really comply necessarily. Some of them do. Tired of having a soul? Get the jab. It says Vexed Peril. That's funny. It's a propaganda effort. They're trying to bring awareness to the black community, I think. Blacks aren't heading out to get vaxxed, especially in the major cities, says Lisa, who knows that viral load resides in the nasal area. Shout out to the Facebook crew again. Who is the NBA? Those are those black basketball players. Mostly black. What a mess. One guy says, I am pro-vax but anti-mandate. As for the vaccine hesitant people, this is the most clear of an explanation I have heard from anyone, anywhere. Dude broke so many stereotypes I have long held. What clarity of thought. What an articulation. What an articulate black male. What calm composure. And salutations to his parents for a job very well done. And good for him for not kneeling for the anthem during the Black Lives Matter riots. That's that guy, Jonathan Isaac, a bad example because he didn't get the vaccine. Here's a good example, guys, real quick. And then I will get to calls or whatever. And you can call in 888-775-3773. I had to pause because I had to find the numbers on the screen. I like to point to them. 888-775-3773. Here's a good example. After that bad black guy with the wild hair, here's an upstanding white man. Sleepy Joe gets vaccinated on camera. Here's clip 13 for you guys. I know you guys been wanting to see this, itching to see it. I think it's clip 13. Yeah, 30 seconds long only. Here he is preaching his truth, the vaccine truth. He gets vaxxed on camera. And John Miller, a black guy who's like conservative, Miller Stream, he asks, why is he on a TV set? I guess there are TV sets in the White House with like fake windows or something. Or I don't know what look like fake windows to me. Watch this and listen. Sleepy Joe.
We're doing more than every other nation in the world combined. We're going to have well over 1,100,000,000 shots, and we're going to continue going. We're going to do our part. We've also given a great deal of funding to COVAX, which is the vehicle that does this. So we have plenty of opportunities to make sure we get everyone in the world to play our part, the largest part.
That was it.
Getting everyone vaccinated.
Play that again. Was that real? Did he really get it? I'm not trying to sow doubt. I just want to see. Like, play that one more time.
We are helping. We're doing more than every other nation in the world combined. We're going to have well over 1,100,000,000 shots, and we're going to continue going. We're going to do our part. We've also given a great deal of funding to COVAX, which is the vehicle that does this. So we have plenty of opportunities to make sure we get everyone in the world to play our part, the largest part in the world, of getting everyone vaccinated.
I wonder how, there he is. See the TV set? Looks like a TV set. It looked like maybe they gave them a tiny little teeny dose. That was Sleepy Joe. He's a good example. Not like Jonathan Isaac. Biden has a belly now, says Even Chili. Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah, honestly, he's looked skinnier lately than ever in his life. I was telling Nick, the anchor baby, he didn't know what I meant, but Sleepy Joe used to look like a total, like a slob, honestly. If you look at him in his younger days, he looked like a slob, like chubby, chunky, and skinny fat type look. Never like extremely fat, but kind of fat and slobby. And then he looked like he was kind of emaciating, which is not necessarily a good thing. Kind of like, you know who else looked like that in his younger days, not long ago, before he went to an all-meat diet. And I'm a fan of this guy somewhat. Jordan B. Peterson. If you look at his older pictures, he was a little fat and slobby. And then he went to that all-meat thing, and now he's all like skinny. Huh. So that's Sleepy Joe getting the vaccine on camera. Honestly, this Jonathan Isaac guy made an interesting point that these people are going crazy, jumping on you for having a different opinion. It doesn't really make you want to comply with what they want to tell you to do, because you feel like you're being forced against your will. You know, that female spirit that some males get it too. Big word, Hake. What word? Which word? They're trying to force you and push you and shame you and say, you don't care about anyone. You won't wear a mask outside. You won't get a, vaccine. You don't care about other people. What do you think, Hake? Was it fake or real? I think it was probably real. Christopher Withers speculates that it was saline shots. Robbie Lewis Brown reminds us that Jonathan Isaac, the basketball player, said his mom worked in healthcare. He suggests she probably advised him. Who knows? But the stuff that he was saying is the same stuff that I've recounted to you, courtesy of phony Fauci himself, Dr. Fauci. Isn't that interesting? Biden don't have to worry about sterilization, says perverted at best. Yeah. I don't know, but are there any long-term studies? Do we know the long-term effects? I hear that long COVID, they call something long COVID, the virus itself. There's a risk with that. Mario Ubaldo speculates, it looked fake to me. Maybe it's just quick work. Man, imagine that quick. And then what it does to your body. I heard that there was a Keemstar. You guys ever heard of Keemstar? The guy who comes out with Drama Alert? A great news show. He tweeted this picture out, this screenshot from, I think, Complex magazine. It's like a black magazine or something, hip-hop oriented, right? That said, the police nab, some type of authorities, nab some people who had enough pills to kill such and such number of million people. Whoa. Pills. Just a little pill. Can kill you? Wow. Talk about potent. So maybe. Anyway. I have some other interesting updates about the craziness around the scam-edemic, the pandemic. Lord Grimm says, Hake just want to be nice, but deep down inside, he knows Sleepy Joe didn't take no booster. Keemstar is not great news. That's you, Hake. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate that. No, Sleepy Joe might have taken it. A lot. Who knows? Somebody said, Donald Trump took it. Somebody said, Donald Trump says that he took it, but he didn't really take it. Do you really believe that he took it? I'm like, what? Why would he lie about that? Trump doesn't seem like a liar. He's an honest person. He's an honest man. And you'll notice that Trump isn't trying to force people. Not that he's even in the government, but he encourages people to get it, especially, his boomer fans. His boomer fans. What a mess. Anyway, I will get to your calls, guys. Hang tight. First, some super chats. Based America First says, and I quote, on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association, NOAA, recently reported that the contiguous United States' mean temperature was the hottest recorded since 1936 by less than 0.01 degrees Celsius. Wow. Wow. Using Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's math, climate change will destroy the planet by the year 2031. So everyone died in 1946. The intervening 85 years were cooler. Global warming was rebranded as climate change when people began to point out the obvious. Yet politicians continue to focus on increasing temperature, 0.5 degrees Celsius in 100 years. Allegedly. They might say the most significant increases were in the last 25 years. So why was 1936 so hot? And why weren't people concerned about climate change back then? Because they had other ways of ushering in communism, maybe. Because that's what this climate change push is all about. It is ushering in so-called climate change. So-called climate change. Interesting, Based America First. 0.01 degrees Celsius. Wow. Or centigrade for the communists. Are degrees Celsius bigger degrees or smaller degrees than degrees Fahrenheit? Yes, turn on the AC. Is the AC on? Turn on the AC. Speaking of warming, the hot air coming out of my mouth is heating up this place. Fortunately, Galaxy Brain Chris is fit and young, so he can withstand the China virus coming out of my mouth. Not that I have it. I was over at that excellent Chinese food place, Panda Express, the other day, picking up some food. Veggies, and some meat. Celsius are bigger. Degrees Celsius are bigger than Fahrenheit. And this woman, black woman, middle-aged, maybe older, had her mask on. She came, and I walked in to pick up my order because I ordered ahead. And it wasn't ready yet. People were in line. People were at the checkout thing. So I stepped outside again so as not to crowd the place. And there was this Hispanic father and his son or daughter, young child. I forget whether it was a son or a daughter. Hot breath ache. And this black woman comes out with her order, and she's all, he's not wearing a mask. Oh my gosh. And the workers said that they can't force him to wear a mask. And his little daughter's not wearing a mask either, or son, little child. Fine dining, Hake. Yes, indeed. Panda Express is overrated. Not to me, it's just rated. It's just rated. Rated. The veggies are pretty good. And she points to him, and she said, these corporations don't care about protecting their workers. I don't know, but I don't think that the workers really can legally even force these people to wear one. In fact, I've heard that you are told, or that early on, people were told not to get into fights with people over this stuff, because that can cause an even bigger problem. You get into a fight with somebody over this, or force them to wear a mask when they don't want to wear a mask, you're going to end up getting in a fight with them. I think Trader Joe's deals with the same thing. Remember that there is some anti-mask protester guy, some radicals, who've called into my show before. Shout out to you guys. You know who you are. If you're listening, I don't know. And the Trader Joe's people put them in a whole separate line and just shuffle them through really fast to so-called protect the, well, I guess it's not so-called, to supposedly protect the other people who are scared and wearing a mask. Mike Cernovich is an independent journalist. And good, honestly, for that father, in my opinion. He's not, he may have some illegal alien disease, but he's with his daughter. He doesn't want to wear a mask. He doesn't have to wear a mask in there. It's well ventilated. Give me a break. They're behind a desk, you know, the checkout counter. Pathetic. Black woman just scared. She must listen to MSNBC, MSLSD, MSDNC, CNN. But I'm all, well, they should make up their minds. Anyway, Lin Yan-Chin gave a super chat and said, remember, the way to stop multi-communism is to stop government from controlling your nations, a.k.a. races. To stop them, build giant robots as deterrents to thwir, T-H-W-I-R, thwart, I don't know, to their enforcing evil with violence. Oh, a deterrence to their enforcing evil with violence. Merry Christmas, Lord Goodhair. Well, thank you. Yes, be moral, be upright, be productive, and be enterprising, young men and old men. Mike Cernovich worked to cover for Epstein. He worked to expose him, man. What the heck? Anyway, a single mom doing her best gave a super chat on streamlabs.com/the Hake Report. Single mom doing her best says, Jonathan Isaac, the basketball player, quote, I'm not sure the vaccine is right for me. I'm fit and healthy. Rolling Stone magazine says, quote, shut up and dribble. Yeah, I know. Rolling Stone magazine, they asked him, or anyway, they quoted him. They're the ones who brought him up to the media to try to attack him, and then he defends himself in public, and they're smearing him more. Rolling Stone are pure evil. By the way, I did get some super chats from Odyssey, ODYSEE.com/@the Hake Report. Asmodor states, I wear 3 masks indoors by myself while self-administering intravenous injections of every brand of COVID vax simultaneously on the hour, every hour. If you're not doing this as well, you're a murderer and you don't care about anybody, I add. And you are selfish. I agree. Thank you, Asmodor. Silosopher, with a fiery heart, super chat. Thank you, man, over there on Odyssey, ODYSEE.com. Asmodor says, you're on Odyssey, James. Tell them the shots are full of cobra venom. Because Uncle Ted 88 says, who's on YouTube anymore? Because I said that YouTube is censoring people who don't go along with the medical consensus, because that's authoritative. Odyssey is what's up. Keep it up, Hake. Well, thank you, Uncle Ted 88. Appreciate you as well. Shout out to the Odyssey crew. I'm live on Odyssey because I got kicked off of Trovo. And so thank you, Trovo. Hat tip to ya. Makes me grow into something else. Nothing like a little bit of censorship to nudge you into expanding in, like the smart people did in the first place, right? Anyway, I got to get to some calls. Man, I've gone almost 50 minutes, not even taking any calls. Mike in Wisconsin wants to talk about the YouTube ban on criticizing the vaccine. Mike, how are you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself, Hake?
Doing well, thank you.
By the way, my screen name is Family53511.
Hey, nice to hear from you, Family53511.
Yeah, so I was wondering if you heard about this ban that came out. It's all over the news today. I'm not going to get too much into it because I don't want to get you in trouble, but
right.
Basically, you're not supposed to negatively talk about the vaccine anymore on YouTube.
Right.
Isn't that kind of crazy? Aren't we approaching like 1984 or something, you know?
No, what's crazy is talking negatively about the vaccine counter to the medical consensus. Get with it.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. You guys are so crazy, you need to repent. And as Kathy Hochul said, is it Hochul or Hochul?
Hochul, I think, or that's what I thought. But
Kathy Hochul or Hochul, the new governor, female, of New York said, be my apostles or something like that. Go and tell your people to go therefore and make vaccinated all nations. All nations.
So I'm not going to waste too much of your time. That's all I was calling about.
You know what? I did hear about that.
You're aware of that.
I had heard of it, and I mentioned it in passing. I don't know the details. Let's see. I liked a tweet from this liberal journalist guy named. Actually, I retweeted it on my. I'll retweet it from the Hake Report account. Michael Tracy on Twitter. He's been on the Jesse Lee Peterson show before. He's an atheist. He's a liberal. But I consider him an American, which is more than I say about most journalists. I think he's actually, for a liberal, pretty pro-America considering. Anyway, he says, YouTube announces that it has officially delegated its moderation enforcement policies to medical consensus. And he puts that in quotes. And he says, whatever that means exactly. This new rule in particular is so vague that even discussion of scientific studies could potentially get you banned. And he links to blog.youtube /news and events, well, with the hyphens, /managing harmful vaccine content YouTube, on YouTube. So they posted on their official blog, September 29th, we're expanding our medical misinformation policies on YouTube with new guidelines on vaccines. Well, good for them. Since last year, we've removed over 130,000 videos for violating our COVID-19 vaccine policies. Wow. So they're bragging. I think they're defending themselves against the people who want more censorship because they cater to those people. And
Yeah, I hear you on that.
Michael Tracy screenshotted and highlighted a portion of their blog post purportedly. He says specifically, this blog post reads in part, specifically content that falsely alleges that approved vaccines are dangerous and cause chronic health effects, claims that vaccines do not reduce transmission or contraction of disease, or contains misinformation on the substances contained in vaccines such as cobra venom will be removed. But they have admitted that rare cases of some of the, chronic health effects can occur. They've admitted. And in fact, they don't even know the truth of it. Long-term studies haven't taken place.
Sorry not to cut you off, but
Yeah,
another
go
thing,
for it.
did you hear about that little girl where she was supposed to get a flu vaccine and they gave her the COVID jab?
Oh my gosh.
That was in the news.
You said a little girl. Did you say a little girl?
Yes, a little girl. This was just in the news yesterday, I believe. Or
She was supposed to get the China virus vaccine. No, she was supposed to get a regular flu shot.
Yes, and they gave her the COVID jab.
Oh my gosh.
And I think she was like, I can't remember the age. Like she was pretty young, like 6 or something.
And they haven't even approved it on emergency use for ages 5 to 11.
And
They're still
I
testing.
was reading an interesting article that, or it was a comment, and somebody brought up a point basically, and they're like, well, that's an interesting way to do your studies, and just say, hey, oops, it was an accident. That study
Yeah.
effects on somebody young, give them a full adult.
Well, they are. I heard that they are experimenting on children. Somehow,
Yeah.
These pharmaceutical companies are immune from. They're immune from lawsuits if they hurt you.
I can't figure that out. I mean, they were like, oh, it's safe, it's effective. Well, if it was so safe and effective, I mean, why can't you sue these people if they have negative effects? But anyways, that's a story for another day, I guess. But
yeah.
I'll let you go, man. I don't want to waste too much of your time. But
I appreciate it, Mike. It's great to hear from you, man.
Can I give a shout out real quickly?
Yeah, go for it.
Shout out to Skip, Lord Grimm, Niner, and Sixto. So, thanks.
Nice. Great to hear from you, Mike.
Have a great day. I love your show.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Bye.
Bye. That's cool. I wonder, is that the first time I've heard from Mike? From Wisconsin? I've heard of other people from Wisconsin. A nice southern woman. Yeah, okay, he's called before. YouTube also would remove content that falsely says that approved vaccines cause autism, cancer, or infertility. Oh, yeah. So you guys had said Biden wouldn't have to worry about having any more kids. Well, don't falsely say that it causes infertility. Or that substances in vaccines can track those who receive them. Our policies not only cover specific routine immunizations like measles or hepatitis B, but also apply to general statements about vaccines. Michael Tracy goes on to say, depends who is pro-vaccine, and he believes in this virus and everything. Was wearing a mask and questioning the Black Lives Matter riots and the protests, the crowds gathering, the wisdom of that. Because it's amid a so-called a pandemic, as he called it. Is it wise to be holding a rally or for the mayor to be going out and meeting with the people? The mayor of Portland, for example, that simp. He says, depends on how you define contracting disease. It's been demonstrated that the China virus vaccines have waning efficacy in reducing transmission. Waning efficacy, just like the natural immunity supposedly has waning efficacy in reducing transmission. And it's common to label even asymptomatic cases as disease. Asymptomatic. Not pre-symptomatic, asymptomatic. Where you're tested for it and, they say, you have it, but you have your zero side effects showing or zero, what is that thing called? where you have symptoms. 0 symptoms. But don't worry, the philosopher kings at YouTube will adjudicate all this. Oh yeah, they know what they believe in hate speech. Real kings. If merely contracting the SARS-CoV-2 virus constitutes contraction of an illness, as tends to be the consensus view, then this rule would easily proscribe all manner of legitimate scientific and public policy discussion. It's okay, though, YouTube consulted with experts. Claims of vaccines. Examples. Here are some examples of content that's not allowed on YouTube, so take note. Samuel the Swede. Shout out to Samuel the Swede. He taught me how to pronounce Greta Thunberg's name. Greta Thunberg. I'll talk about her in a second, guys. Well, in several minutes. Here are examples of content that's not allowed on YouTube, guys. Take note. Claims that vaccines cause chronic side effects such as cancer, diabetes, or other chronic side effects. So people who suspect that they have been vaccine injured, not allowed on YouTube. Claims that vaccines do not reduce the risk of contracting illness, and he highlights that one because it supposedly does reduce it, but it has waning efficacy, as he points out. Claims that vaccines contain substances not in the vaccine ingredient list, such as biological matter from fetuses, fetal tissue, fetal cell lines, or animal byproducts. I heard that they use that for, testing. I don't know. Claims that vaccines contain substances or devices meant to track or identify those who've received them. Claims that vaccines alter a person's genetic makeup. Wait, I thought that's what the mRNA was. Maybe it's not. Is that not what the mRNA, messenger ribonucleic acid? Because DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, RNA is ribonucleic acid, and mRNA is messenger ribonucleic acid. And I thought that was supposed to change your genes a little bit, but I don't know. Claims that MMR vaccine, measles, mumps, rubella, causes autism. Claims that vaccines are part of a depopulation agenda. Claims that the flu vaccine causes chronic side effects such as infertility. Claims that the HPV, is that the one that they give to like little boys and girls before they've even had sex to prevent them from getting an STD, even though they're not even having sex yet? Sick. Causes chronic side effects such as paralysis. I mean, these people censor stuff that's like true statements. They call it hate speech. They've censored JLP as hate speech. So I don't know. This just doesn't seem right to me. But that's YouTube for you. So take note. Take note. Be more like Joe Biden. Don't be like this black guy with the wild hair who's a Christian and didn't kneel for Black Lives Matter and caught the China virus and says he's not sure the vaccine is right for him since he's young and fit and already had the China virus, and he doesn't want to risk the, albeit rare, potential side effects. I don't know. Be like Sleepy Joe. Some more interesting stuff. An entire middle school in Ohio shut down yesterday because a single staff member had a positive test result, according to Michael Tracy, sharing an article from 19 out of Bedford Heights, Ohio, WOIO, students at Heskett Middle School taking their classes online until the end of the week after a staff member tested positive for the China virus. Middle school means like 6th, 7th, 8th grade, something like that. I didn't have middle school. I had junior high. I had elementary, junior high, high school. Superintendent Andrea Celico, a woman, said the school must move online to online learning through Friday because one person tested positive. Wow. I don't think that's about protecting the children. Maybe it's about protecting the old people. Maybe. And by the way, forever, Twitter had their curated editorial sidebar that says, what's trending? Biden's vaccine mandate for workers is supported by legal precedent, experts say. Michael Tracy, who's been on the Jesse Lee Peterson show before, says that this demonstrates further that experts say has become one of the most meaningless phrases in the English language. True. It's propaganda, basically pro-Democrat, pro-woman, force you to do what they want you to do. Propaganda. That is the establishment social media. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get to more of your calls. You can call in 888-775-3773. But first, I have another song that I would like to share with you. You may recognize this song. It seems to be inspired off of a great hymn, actually. And I think that this is an interesting message. Maybe some truth to it. Maybe not. It's by OK from the 2005 album Low Road, Part 1. This track is entitled Replace. Enjoy Replace by OK. And I'll be back in a few minutes for the rest of hour 2 with your calls and more mess from Greta. Greta Thunberg. Pushing the climate hype. Enjoy. Be right back. So good. Was blind, but now I see, says Buster Goblin. War Eagle's really worked up about them using the Amazing Grace song. Don't live in your head, guys. I think this guy went through a lot with his Crohn's disease. Wonder how he's doing now. Wonder how he's doing today. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Oh, there were some chats that I wanted to read that I didn't get to. Kevin Howe says, I used to think Rolling Stones was cool. Beta. Yeah, I know. Don't say anti-vaxxer, says William Wallace. Intelligent people are skeptical and skeptical in general. Yeah. This one was a tad strange, says Dresden. Yeah, true. Hake, this is the worst. Sesame Street weird, says Chrissy. Uh-huh. Indeed. Pointless lyrics, says Neanderthal Bobby. He said that about the first song. I don't know. I liked it. Sounds like a midget wizard. Man, talking harshly about this man's voice. Hake, is that noise you make an airplane noise or ocean waves when I open the song? When I open the show, I mean? I'm thinking more about the ocean, but also I think about the airplanes at times. Yeah, like an airplane. Ledge Clinger tried to listen on the listen line. I had weak service for the past 20 minutes, dialed the JLP listen line, and had to let you know that on the phone line you sound terrible. Super lispy. What the? You always sound like that on the phone? I don't know. No, I don't think so. I don't really hear myself on the phone. I'll have to try and listen on the listen line, man. Don't do Hake like that, says Noah's Arkansas. Shout out to the people listening over there on the Odyssey, Odyssee, Reloaded, XXX, Reloaded, XXX. Gave a super chat over there. An LBC, Long Beach City. No, library credit. And gave a heart. I appreciate that. Uncle Ted 88 is talking about a girl he knew who took that HBV vax. Go over there to the live chat over there on Odyssey to see what he said. Odyssey, ODYSEE.com /@the_Hake Report/live for that's the how to listen. Oh, let me see if the super chat reply command works. Super. Yes. I think that will work for you guys. Nice. Anyway, I appreciate it, guys. So, what do you think about Greta Thunberg? Greta Thunberg. I may be butchering it. But Samuel the Swede, shout out to Samuel the Swede, made a video and sent it to me on his YouTube channel. It's probably there to this day that tells you how to pronounce Greta Thunberg. Because she too is Swedish. She was 16 when she came out over there. When she came out and said, "How dare you?" All angry and bitter and female-minded, yelling at, scolding those men who don't want to do anything about the China, not the China, what is this thing called? This climate alarmism mess. Let's see, what did she say? She's back. She spoke at the Youth for Climate Forum. Youth, number 4, climate. You know why they use youth? Because youth are suckers. That's why. They are suckers. And they are a mob. Ever heard of the 9-year-old army that PewDiePie had? The bros? I mean, well, those guys were many of them were decent. But the climate alarmist young people, just like the anti-racist young people, just like the gun, well, we need gun control. It's going to take kids to do it. Says this nearly 18-year-old, cringy, liberal, skinny male at the March Against Our Lives thing after that Valentine's Day shooting in 2018. I think it was 2018. Over there in Florida at a liberal town where this young male was not properly punished or whatever. He had plenty of warning signs, and he went up and shot up a school. And then most of the children became young people, minors, turned into this March Against Our Lives, to push for gun control, taking away the guns, taking away the Second Amendment. Well, here's Greta Thunberg pushing mess like she knows what she's talking about. She's 18 now. Happy birthday in January. It's my birthday too. I'm 40 now. My birthday was in it was my birthday this year too, Greta. I turned 40 in July. So thank you guys for the birthday wishes. I think I saw some birthday wishes for me here September 29th. He's all, no, this is she. Greta Thunberg says, net zero, blah, 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 climate neutral, blah, blah, blah. This is all we hear from our so-called leaders. Words that sound great. It doesn't sound great. Net zero, climate neutral. It doesn't sound great. Sound great, but so far has led to no action. They've had too much action, honestly, stupid woman. Or hopes and dreams. She was mocking so-called world leaders at the Youth for Climate Forum. I wonder who put that thing there. Youth for Climate. 30 years of climate action have resulted in blah, blah, blah. Cringy material, more cringy material from hat tip to the great Michael Knowles. I mentioned this in Hake News, that mentally ill Swedish child, as he called her. Because it came out, I think she was bragging about it, or her parents were bragging about it, that is she autistic or something? I don't know. But she's Swedish. She's not a child anymore. She's a quote-unquote adult. Still looks like she's 16, though. Lin Yan Chin was saying that she has the mindset of it like an 8-year-old. And they're saying, oh, extreme weather's coming. Base America First says it has the hottest year on record since 1936 was 0.01 degrees Celsius hotter. I don't know if they were to detect the temperature back in 1936 with the amount of accuracy that we maybe supposedly have today. Who knows? Flat Sabbath says, she's a good actor. You talking about Greta? She tweeted out, oh, they're saying more heat waves, droughts, floods, wildfires, tropical cyclones. The females at the Skim are saying, everybody just listen to Greta. Greta. Children born in 2020 will experience 2 to 7 times more extreme climate events than those born in 1960. What a mess. I heard that Facebook was censoring documented science material in that one magazine that I told you about. That's not a magazine, science journal. Where did that come from? Science journal. What was that science journal that said that bodies with vaginas have been historically ignored? Sorry, kids. Vulgar. Yeah. The Lancet. There was peer-reviewed research article in The Lancet that said more people die from cold than from hot. Isn't that interesting? Yes, that's interesting. So all this fear-mongering about the global warming, and they don't know that, for example, this, let's say, Hurricane Ida, or more hurricanes in general, they don't know that the more hurricanes are from the man-made climate change stuff. Maybe if I say that, they're going to censor me for that too, because the mainstream media consensus and the establishment social media consensus, which is in bed with the government, which is anti-American. Did Hake just say the V word? I know, man. I had to say it out loud, though. I had to say it out loud because I don't know how else female body part after the fact. What a mess. I feel like I can't say anything. I guess it really is all about Odyssey now. Greta Thunberg said on Twitter, "We can no longer let the people in power decide what hope is." When did we ever let them decide that? The dummies who voted for sleazy Obama pretended that they know what hope is. It's like hearing a woman pretend that she knows what love is. Hope is not passive. Hope is not blah, blah, blah. Hope is telling the truth, says Greta. The 18-year-old, it just wants to roll off my tongue. Michael Knowles, the great Michael Knowles, who interviewed Jesse Lee Peterson. He's a Daily Wire guy. He's a Christian man. I think he's Italian. Shout out to the Italians. Louis Buzzi, are you there? There's three Italians that I like. Louis and Sheriff Joe Arpaio. And am I wrong? Michael Knowles is Italian, right? He looks Italian. What? He doesn't look white, I'll tell you that much. And he works for Daily Wire. Just a side note. But he's appeared at our men's conferences. Great appearance at the men's conferences. Shout out. I'm a big fan of his. I'm a fan of his anyway. Hope is taking action. Hope is telling the truth. What does this woman know? Greta Thunberg. What a mess. Knowles is Scottish, says Liberty Slinger. Really? He doesn't look very Scottish. He looks like he got some, what is that stuff that Italians have? What is that? Moorish. Yeah, he looks Moorish. The Moors are the Moors blacks? I'm not sure. Or are they like Arabs? Yeah. What a mess. White is a color. Italian is a nationality. But Italian is not. People say Italian is white. It's not WASP. It's not Anglo-Saxon white. Anyway, there's Greta for you. I hope you enjoyed that. Anglo is white. Thank you, man. Yes. I truly enjoy history lessons from that man whom I interviewed last. What's his name? King. Steve King. Congressman Steve King. Not to be confused with the author who's a liberal. Congressman Steve King, he doesn't look Jewish, does he? Says Skip. No, he doesn't. So Sean Connery was Scottish, but he looked like that too. Oh. Yeah, he did have darker hair for a while. What a mess. But Congressman Steve King told a story about how the Anglos took over Texas because demographics is destiny. That means you should be having babies. You should be moral and have babies and have families, real families, not a so-called white community. Did you notice that the white community is never called the white community? It's just called the community because we are for one, we are not a monolith. We're pretty normal. We're civilized. Even the white liberals, the normal white liberals. Not that it's normal to be a liberal, but they're pretty civilized. So they just assume that all the other POC liberals are civilized too. But they're civilized until you cross them and say, hey, go back to your hood, allegedly. And then they go after you and try to get you fired. That doesn't seem very civilized. Doesn't seem very spirit of freedom of speech-esque, is it? I'm referencing a story that I saw on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. That was, oh my gosh, infuriating. That guy was ridiculous too. Make sure you guys catch the Jesse Lee Peterson show. It's a great show. He's on before I am. I'm on his network. He covered this ridiculous story of this male, black male, who is simping, white knighting, black guy, light skin maybe, for his girlfriend. He's some type of content creator or whatever. So he used his platform, his online presence to dox and go after some supposedly white girl who supposedly said, according to him, go back to your hood, and his girlfriend. Oh, my girlfriend, she has to live with that trauma of being told, go back to your hood. Meanwhile, we got this woman fired from her livelihood, right? Because women have to work these days, I guess. What a mess. James, there's a black Israelite on line 1, says Thomas Gorby. Should I go to the black Israelites? What a mess. Speaking of black souls, Hake says, Malkuth X, blacks think it's okay to call white women Karen, but will flip out if you call a black woman Keisha. Fair point. Fair point. Merle versus Jeremiah, battle for autistic supremacy. Wow. Wow, what happened, man? You guys got to calm down. Both of you, white and black. Anyway, speaking of black souls, I got to share this story with you. It is about Antifa, to quote our real president, Donald J. Trump. I'm not saying that he's president right now. I'm just saying once a president, always labeled president. Even President Obama, the worst ever. This is clip 12. You can actually just show this as I speak. This is clip 12. This is from the New York Post, shared by Andy No, who is an Antifa journalist. Antifa member Benjamin Varela, V-A-R-E-L-A. Is that Italian? Is that Hispanic? Is that white? Is that mixed? Is that Jewish? What is it? Benjamin Varela, charged with shooting a protester, an anti-vaxxer. I got, again, from New York Post, Andy No is a journalist who's been documenting Antifa's crimes and doxing them, or whatever, sharing mugshots of them, right? Follow him on YouTube. Even though he's gay, not a good thing to be. Is like pro. He has a rainbow in his Twitter thing. He had not advisable, but I guess he's not a Christian. Andy No, he had to go into hiding because Antifa is so evil. Because he's pretty much tells the truth. Look at this. Look at this video footage. An Antifa member with a long history of posting far-left extremist content online has been arrested and charged with the shooting of an anti-vaxxer in Olympia, Washington. I don't want to go to Olympia. And that's a famous city, too, by the way. Is the clip in there? Yeah, play this clip. Benjamin Anthony Varela, age 36. Look at this guy. It's a silent clip. It's just B-roll footage. Security camera footage. Here they come. This is beautiful Olympia, Washington. And a whole bunch of dark-souled, dark-clothed Antifa people are marching up with their masks and black bloc with their thing. Shoot. Boom, 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 boom. He's shooting with a thing. Running away and then turns around and shoots. Look at that. That was allegedly Benjamin Anthony Varela, age 36, of Olympia. You know what? I didn't share any photos of his face, But I thought I saw on Andy Knows. Let me go to YouTube. Let me see if I can pull up his face. Yeah, I think I can. Yes, indeed. Let me screenshot his face. Oh, man. Ugly guy. Here, guys, I'm going to show you a picture of this. Well, it's not his whole face, but he has this wild hair. He looks like he might be related to David Pakman. Not that he is. I'm not saying that at all. He just looks... He has that sort of nose that sticks out, and he's kind of light-skinned, maybe Hispanic. Dark hair, wild hair. Come on. Here, let me drag it into the folder again. Or try. Okay. Did it go in? Okay. It's just a screenshot from this Andy No post. Skinny little 36-year-old male. At least according to this picture. Beautiful Olympia, Washington, a once beautiful suburb or city thing. There he is. He looks like a guy that I might have played soccer with. One of those light-skinned Hispanic guys. I don't know what this guy is. Anthony Varela. Age 36. When the Antifa... So listen to this. On September 4th, a couple dozen Antifa from around the Pacific Northwest traveled to the Washington state capitol. Oh yeah, that's the capital of Washington, isn't it? Olympia. I forgot about that. I used to know my states and capitals. To try to shut down an anti-China virus vaccine mandate, anti-vax mandate protest. The black-clad group was met by the rally's volunteer right-wing security, which included Proud Boys members. When the Antifa group ran to the intercity transit station, one of their masked members turned around and fired 5 9mm pistol rounds in the direction of the right-wing group, which is about 50 feet behind, according to security footage. Proud Boys member Tusitala Toese. Tusitala Toese sounds like a white supremacist to me. I'm chuckling because it doesn't sound like a white name. I don't know. Proud Boys member, though. Injured in the shooting. Toese. What is that guy? Tiny. Is that Tiny? Is it Tiny? Oh, really? Aw. Yeah, Tiny is... What is he, Cuban or black or... Wow. Samoan. So is he Cuban or black? Just playing. Samoan means one of those Pacific Islander guys, right? Those big, huge guys. They look kind of black, but they're Pacific Islander. Like The Rock, right? Yeah, what is that guy? Those ambiguous people. Tusitala, that's Tiny. They shot Tiny? Did he actually shoot him? He was injured in the shooting. Shot in the leg, thinks Chris. Varela is a member of the Democratic Socialists of America, meaning he's a communist, just like Cortez, Sandy Cortez. Tiny is Samoan. Thank you. Sandy Cortez, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's, I think, a member of the DSA, Democratic Socialists of America. And so I think maybe is that independent, supposedly, guy who ran for president as a Democrat, Bernie Sanders, the simp who cowered before Black Lives Matter. Females let them take over the stage in the Pacific Northwest. I want to say, like, maybe it was in Seattle, Washington, or Portland, Oregon. These black females, loud, fat black females, shouted at him, shouted him down off the stage, and they took over his mic. I'll never forget that. That's when I knew that he was not going to win against Trump. So he deleted most of his social media accounts before his arrest, but posts still available on Twitter show that he corresponded back and forth with the Spokane and Olympia DSA chapters, Democrat Socialists of America, as well as libcom.org, an anarchist communist website Prior to deleting his Twitter account, his bio read professional anarchist, thug, and paid protester. His YouTube account, which is still online but doesn't have any videos available to the public, features a red and black Antifa flag as its profile image. According to the affidavit, Varela ran into an alley behind the Union Gospel Mission after the shooting and discarded his black uniform. Wow. He tried to hide his Antifa-ness. I have some screenshots of these Antifa people. Women. Some people say that there are a lot of transgenders. Somebody said that there were a lot of transgenders in the Antifa thing. Pinko equals communist. They are pinkos, says Matt the American. Look at that. A bunch of skinny, misguided, evil people. Demon-possessed people. The suspect is seen removing his outer clothing and changing into the bright yellowish-greenish t-shirt, wrote an Olympia police detective in the criminal complaint. The suspect discarded his black t-shirt and beanie/watch cap in the alley. Varela is a member of forums of at the website Something Awful and used the screen name Doorknob Slobber. Long history of making extremist posts, suspended repeatedly by the moderators. Wow, even extreme for Something Awful, I hear. 2017 thread discussing Antifa's organizational structure, Varela wrote, "I think it has something to do with remaining decentralized in an effort to create cells instead of an organization structure that is easily targeted by law enforcement and other fascists." What a mess. Misguided guy. And he's 36 years old. Useful idiots, says Epstein's ghost. Good point. Varela wrote at the beginning of the so-called pandemic, March 2020, when they started shutting stuff down. Varela wrote this: "Start hurting people." Wow, he said, "Start hurting people." The coronavirus is going to provide great cover for a real revolution, he said. He called for people to take up arms. The same month, he posted a rant wishing that both conservatives and liberals die of the coronavirus. In 2018, he wrote, 9/11 was good because the U.S. is a Nazi state, so we deserved it. What a psycho. The criminal complaint says the police interviewed Varela's live-in girlfriend, of course, Jessica Lynn O'Connor, age 34, who admitted they attended the direct action. Direct action is a buzzword that they call when Antifa goes and attacks you. They call it direct action. Remember that guy, the Antifa professor, skinny, nerdy, effeminate guy who has a wife, but an Asian wife and kids? And was the one who waved you guys tipped me off to it, Asmodor and others, who waved his rifle in the direction of James Fields, who drove into the crowd at the Charlottesville riot. Tiny is one of those head-hunting cannibals. Terrible. But they call that direct action when Antifa goes and causes trouble, and the cops don't step in between and keep the peace and prevent people from getting shot or killed or run over or attacked or maced because they want an excuse. Maybe not the cops themselves, but the people who are in charge of the cops, the evil politicians who are running the show, enemies of America, in America, want an excuse to go after the conservatives, the decent people, or the whites, or the men, or whoever. Just clamp down on your rights. They lick their chops when there is an act of violence on any side, really. Honestly, like, think about I was talking with Kickflip, Skateboard White, Galaxy Brain Chris. Well, he was talking with me about it. My Hake News segment about these people getting fired. You heard my call with Rick from Hampton and other people yesterday about these workers who are getting fired because they're not getting the vaccine. Imagine that. How ignorant can you be if you're a hospital worker and you don't want to get the vaccine? Wow, ignorant. I'm being a little bit sarcastic. Hake, silly Hake, cops don't protect people. I know, but they're supposed to stand between or keep the parties separated. Like, that's a common cop tactic. And that's how you keep peace. And that's how you keep the stuff from going out of control. When you let them mix, then blows get thrown sometimes or whatever. And then they shut down the thing and say, this is an unlawful assembly. That's because they don't believe in the freedom of speech. It's a tactic by liberal cops and their liberal superiors. But we were talking about this, these people, like 175 workers, hospital workers at this hospital system out of the 35,000 employee hospital system in North Carolina, Novant Health. Yeah, right. The health is with an asterisk because it's not for health. Anyway, they were fired, I heard, because they didn't get the so-called vaccine. And apparently, I don't know if they had any exceptions, because the exceptions to getting the vaccine and not getting fired usually, I think, is, I have a religious or a medical exemption. But those are maybe tougher to get for some places than others. And some young men I know who have the religious exemption, they wear the N95 mask, they shave their beard, they get tested up the nose every day. Not every day, twice a week though, it's a lot. And I hear that those swabs that get shoved up your nose leave residue of the Chinese cotton in your thing, and it may cause cancer in your nasal cavity. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is Lisa still there in the Facebook crew? I don't know. But there's all kinds of unintended consequences to these things. Unintended, or who could have predicted that type of consequences? Maybe I don't know. They don't care, in all honesty, though. Whether the consequences are intended or unintended, they don't care because they benefit off of it. Oh, more chaos? Oh, we need to take more control. I'm rubbing my hands together because the people like their power. Hake, do you love Chick-fil-A? I love no one. No, Hake, they use plastic now, says Ghost Rider. Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe it's fine. But all these people getting fired, you've heard over and over and over and over again. Well, I have anyway, because I have a lot of nurse friends, or I've known a lot of nurse people. A lot of them females, some of them males. But the female nurses have often said they're overworked, understaffed, and maybe underpaid, I forget. I will get to callers. Hang tight, guys. I just want to get this point out. But they've always been complaining about staff shortages and working, like they work 12, 14 hours, like multiple days, and then get multiple days off. Now they're getting rid, all the more, they've already gotten rid of some, of the non-compliant people, was something that Chris said. The non-compliant people, the independent thinkers, the ones who are not go along to get along types. So then the medical field is that much more subverted by lemmings. And I'm not calling it that I'm all lemmings, but it's like, yeah, people who go along. A lot of the Asians are known to keep their head down and just comply. Keep quiet. A lot of women will just take what some person that they think is authority says and just run with it and try to beat you over the head with it. It's a female mindset. I knew a male nurse who called my show, former nurse, who left that field because they mandated the flu shot years back under the Obama administration. Now he's a trucker. So we have one less logical man in the medical so-called field, medical industry, right? It's just like what they did with the teachers. It's just this subversion. The teachers are a bunch of liberals. That's why I say be a light in a dark place if you can. if you can put up with it. What a mess. Oh, show them this. Did I put this on the outside? Maybe I didn't. Let me see. Oh, no. Here I am. Let me open this up. I saw this thing. Nurses, where are they? Oh my gosh, where did it go? Hold on. I have to show this to you. Where did it go, though? Oh, virus, vax, madness. In this folder. Vax, virus, madness. Here, this is a pocket. You know how I was showing you guys pocket headlines? And then I will get to calls. Hang tight, guys. Show this. Nurses can't handle it. This is just a little thing that caught my eye. Little headline from Pocket. You know, Pocket's a bunch of liberals. Pocket is a liberal conglomeration of liberal articles that is pushed out by Firefox, which is a web browser. You open up Firefox and you're presented with all these liberal news stories, even before you open anything. And this is you're looking, if you're watching the video screen, at a collage of a bunch of females, as in women, young ladies, some of them young, not all, who are wearing their nurse outfit stuff for the most part. It's shared in the Inquirer with an I, not to be confused with the Enquirer with an E. That's real news. Just kidding. I see someone quit every day. Nurses, in their own words. Nurses quite literally have their fingers on the pulse of patient care, and we're sounding the alarm. There are not nearly enough or whatever. Basically complaining. Basically can't handle the pressure. And so these people are sounding the alarm, and then the mainstream media has more hype to put out, more propaganda about the medical emergencies that is this China virus thing. And more compliant people who will put out TikTok videos, feel-good TikTok videos, but they'll be liberals and push for gun control. Oh, gun control is a public health issue. 6 months ago, nurses were superheroes. Now they're unemployed by anti-vax super spreaders, possibly because the left wants hospitals to appear overwhelmed. Yeah, that's the other part of it. It's going to cause more havoc that way, too. More desperation. And the people who do remain are compliant liberals. What a shame. Thank you, Michael. Nice to see you over there. They thrive. Look at Sleazy Joe in the Afghanistan situation. Botched the withdrawal. They die. It makes people emotional, and he can pretend to be emotional. Oh, I lost my son. Whatever that guy's name was. Oh, I lost my son. I lost my wife and daughter. Sleepy Joe pretending to be emotional. And then, oh, we withdrew. Now terror is coming back. We have to go back in. Because he didn't withdraw right. They like to doing stuff wrong because all things work out for evil people, and evil people love evil happening. So, anyway. Let me get to a call or two. First, Mike in Louisiana. First-time caller. What's up, Mike?
Yeah, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm fine. Yeah,
Nice.
I'm at work right now. I just caught a few seconds of your segment. You talk about liberal teachers.
Yeah.
So what's the problem with liberal teachers?
Liberal teachers are mindless, foolish people who push liberalism. Liberalism is anti-America, anti-God, anti-common sense, anti-truth.
What?
So that's what the problem is with liberal teachers. There are some old school liberal teachers didn't push that so much. They had some dignity. They weren't as off the deep end. But nowadays, there are females who make it their mission to come out as LGBTQ to their students and pretend that racism is a real thing And
racism is a real thing.
no, it's not. How old are
I
you?
mean, I'm 38 years old.
Who taught you that racism is a real thing?
White people.
Wow, you shouldn't have listened to those white people. Those were some evil
In
whites.
school, and the people in school when I was coming up, they taught me about slavery, and slavery was racist.
No, it wasn't.
So your people
Slavery
taught me
was
that.
not racist.
Why wasn't it?
Because racism doesn't exist. The blacks were for sale, the
Oh.
whites were not for sale.
I understand that, but they still
That's not racist.
The practice of slavery is racist.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is,
How?
because enslaving another people is racist.
No, it's not. You were for sale.
What is it, evil? Okay, but was it evil?
Not necessarily.
So because the white people did it, it wasn't evil.
No, I mean, if the slave owners were decent slave owners, that doesn't sound that evil to me. It's not ideal, but it's not evil.
That's evil.
You believe in good and evil?
Yeah.
Then why do you support liberal teachers? They're for evil.
I support teachers because they're out here trying to make the students, the young kids better. You know what I'm saying? If they listen to you and Jesse, this whole generation will be all kind of messed up.
No, man, they're messed up already. You don't see how messed up the young. Do you see how messed up the younger generation is?
Yeah, it is. Quick question.
And why is that? Why are they messed up?
A lot of reasons.
Does that include the teachers?
Do you have a woman at
Does
home?
that include the teachers?
It could not.
Then how come you support every teacher blindly just because they're trying to make stuff better?
Because I was taught by great teachers. I had great teachers in college and in high school. So I had great teachers. And
I know, but
you
fell for the lie of racism.
That's not a lie.
Yeah, it is.
You're delusional. You're delusional. But quick, we ain't gonna dodge. Do you have a woman at home?
Do I have a woman at home? No. Why do you ask?
So you're single.
Right.
How long you been single?
Since I was born.
When was the last time you had a relationship with a woman?
I have one now.
Huh?
I have one now.
A woman out there actually deals with you, not a trans woman, a woman.
Why would you think it would be a trans woman?
Because you give off, honestly, like when I watch your show, you give off like down low.
You're the liberal.
Vibes.
You're the liberal.
I'm me. But you
yes,
give
you
off
are
down,
a liberal.
Like,
are you a liberal?
You give off.
Are you a liberal?
I'm me.
That means you're a liberal.
I'm me.
You don't like labels?
But, no, I don't like labels.
Then you're a liberal.
Just saying,
then you're a liberal because liberals don't like labels.
Okay, so in that case, I can say that you're a
so
homo
you're the
because
one,
you don't like women.
You're the one who
because you don't like women.
What do you mean I don't like women? Were you putting words in my mouth?
Every day on your show, you bash women. So that case, if I think
I
like
criticize
you don't
them
like women,
accurately.
Right?
I criticize women accurately.
I know, but that's all you do. So if you
it's
criticize
not all I
women
do.
all day, every day, so it's safe for me to assume that you're gay.
No, you're not. It's not safe for you to assume anything because you don't believe in truth. First of all, you believe that racism is real. Second of all, Second of all,
I believe in truth.
No, you don't. You don't believe in truth.
Homophobic vibes to me.
Homophobic? You believe in homophobia, and you're 38 years old and a male?
Yeah, you give off homo vibes to me.
Homo vibes or homophobic vibes?
Yeah, you give off homo vibes.
Are you hot for me or something?
You would sit up.
Are you hot for me or something?
No, I don't like men. You like men. I don't.
No,
I don't bash women.
I like everybody.
I don't.
But
bash
I'm not into that sex stuff. I'm not perverted like you are.
So when the last time that you had sex?
I don't have sex. I'm a Christian.
That's why you backed up right now. That's why you.
I don't have sex. I'm a Christian.
So
are you a Christian? Are you a Christian, Mike?
I'm mean. I'm mean. Yes.
You're me? You're mean or you're me?
I said I am mean.
Does that mean you're a Christian?
That means I'm me. Whatever I decide to be, that means I'm me. It don't matter.
I asked you if you're a Christian.
It don't matter if I'm a Christian or not. Are you a Christian?
Yes.
Okay, and God says love all people.
You don't
right?
know God. You don't even know. You don't even let your yes be yes. You dodge everything. You believe in racism.
You cannot tell me nothing about the Bible. You cannot tell me.
Yes,
nothing
I can
about
tell
the
you.
Bible
I can tell you plenty
church.
about the Bible.
My dad was a deacon in the church, so I had to be there every Sunday.
That doesn't mean anything. You're still a sucker.
You don't.
You're still a sucker.
When was the last time?
Do you even know your dad anymore?
You actually had? Yes, I love. He died. He died last year. No, 2015
You love him?
he died.
You love him?
Yes.
Then why do you
I
hate
love my
men?
dad.
Why do you hate men then?
I don't hate men.
Yeah, you do.
I don't hate men.
Yeah, you do.
No.
Yeah, you
I
do.
don't
Why
love
are you
men
trying
like
to call me gay then?
I don't love.
Why are you
men
trying to
like,
call me
you,
gay if you love men?
Because you will sit up and see a woman and say that she's not qualified for a job just because she's a woman, and that's not right.
You're a simp. You're a coward.
You're a gay.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
You're
like
38
women.
years
You're
old.
gay.
You're
And I've
38
been
years
with
old.
women. Do you have kids? Do you have kids?
Obviously not.
No.
I've never had sex.
I
I'm a
know.
Christian.
And that's your problem. That's why you hate
It's not
women,
my
because you never
problem not
touched
to
one.
have sex out of
You have a
wedlock.
problem.
You're
You
the one
have a
with the
problem.
problem. Blacks are
I'm
having.
married.
Are you aware that
I'm
blacks have
married.
sex out of wedlock? Did you have sex out of wedlock?
Hey, no, I'm married.
You did not have sex
I'm
out of
married
wedlock?
Right now, I have my wedding ring. I have my wedding ring on right now. I do not cheat on my wife.
Simp.
No, I
Simp.
don't.
Did you have sex out of
Gay
wedlock?
man. I have.
See?
What
Why did you
what
have
have
sex
you
out of
not?
wedlock?
Because I was young, dumb, and full of calm.
That's so gross, man. Don't be vulgar.
It's the truth. I was young and dumb.
Okay, I'm gonna put him on. I'm gonna go ahead and hang up now. What a mess. He worships women, says Absolute Nomad. What a shame. Well, man, go back to work, Mike. I appreciate the call. I just had to hang up because you got too vulgar there. I didn't want to take the risk. But I appreciate it, Mike, over there in... Where was he calling from? Anyway. Louisiana. What a shame. Southern blacks are supposed to be sensible. What the heck? Speaking of nonsensible Southern blacks, let me get to John in Kentucky. What's up, John?
Hey, man, don't introduce me like that, boy.
Why not? Are you black?
That was hilarious, man.
Are you black? Are you black?
Huh?
Are you black?
What does that have to do with being nonsensible?
You're a nonsensible
You gotta get your
Southern black.
troll seconds in, don't you?
You're a nonsensible Southern black.
Well, how you doing, Hake?
Doing fine, thank you. How come you're trying to
Can I
tell
ask
me
a
not
question?
how not to introduce you, and then you call me
Because
boy?
You're just so disrespectful, dude.
Was it respectful for you to call me boy?
That's why I called you boy, because you introduced me like some deplorable. I don't know.
So you're disrespectful to those who are disrespectful to you?
I don't have a lot of time. You always wait to the last second to, get
I
to
have
the black
5
people and
minutes.
everything.
You have 5 minutes. Don't worry about it.
All right, well, look, check this out.
So are you only respectful to those who are respectful to you?
I respect everybody until I feel disrespected.
Wow.
Let's put it like that.
Then you're no better than the world. Jesus said...
I called Nick. And
Jesus
Nick
said,
asked
love
me what
everybody.
my question was.
Not only love those who love you. You're no better than the world.
You are a good deflector, man.
Go ahead.
I hear you.
You're deflecting.
I just want... how? I haven't even got to a question yet.
Because you won't even address me directly.
Mess.
You want to get away with your snide comments?
What?
You want to just get away with calling me boy and telling me how not to introduce you? And
You ain't
then
that soft, are you?
accuse me of being disrespectful, and then you disrespectful too. But
You
somehow
ain't
it's
that
okay for
soft,
you, but
are
not for
you?
me.
You ain't that soft, are you?
What are you
Brush
talking
it
about?
off, man.
You're the
It'll
one
be
who's
all
being
right.
soft.
Brush it off, man.
You brush it off.
Buddy.
Anyway.
Man, where does your brand of Christianity come from? Because it's not traditional Christianity what y'all brought over here and made everybody have to, deal with.
Who's y'all?
It's like, huh?
Who's y'all?
Whites.
Whites?
Yeah. The Christianity that y'all made everybody follow, it's not the same Christianity that I hear at y'all's Sunday church shows and the stuff you preach on the daily. It's not the same Christianity. Where does it come from?
Same Christianity as what?
Hey, don't play stupid, man.
I don't understand your question. Who are you talking about?
The Christianity that you grew up on.
Yeah.
It's different from what you preach right now.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
How so?
because all the stuff you say about women and like every single philosophy that I hear on Jesse's Sunday church show, it's not the same Christianity as you grew up on.
How do you know?
Because it's like a one of a kind type Christianity. It's not traditional Christianity. All the silent prayer stuff that y'all do, and y'all lying to the people about true Christianity.
That's what they said about Jesus too. They said that his religion, his preaching, he spoke as one with authority and not like the scribes and the Pharisees and the teachers of the law. Jesus spoke the truth with authority. And so, is it not true that female-minded people get the wrong idea and they shouldn't be leading? That's basic Christianity there.
That's another philosophy. I've never heard that growing up in the church, and you haven't either until you probably
Did you have a woman preacher growing up?
Are you going to answer my question, though?
It's not different from how I grew up. You're making a claim that's not true.
Let me ask you this.
Granted, I didn't hear about the silent prayer, but there was quiet time when I was growing up. It's not too much different from how I grew up.
And all the stuff
granted, there was
and all that.
There was a little bit of beta is not a Christian or non-Christian thing. It's either you're strong or weak.
It's intertwined with y'all philosophy.
No, it's not. We brought it in because we heard back in 2015, 2016, the alt-right was talking about alpha and beta, and Jesse took it and ran with it because it meant strong or weak, spiritually strong or spiritually weak men.
Man, if you were an honest person, you would say that y'all have tweaked Christianity from what y'all knew growing up.
How is that at all tweaked from Christianity? Christianity just means you believe that Christ is the Son of God, and He brought everything back together. What?
Does your parents believe what you believe and worship how you worship?
I don't know.
You should. You grew up in a house with them.
I know, but I don't keep it that much in touch with them, and
So that lets me know that they don't worship the way you worship.
No, it doesn't let you know any such thing.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not. They like the singing thing. They like singing.
They probably disowned your beliefs.
You're just speculating. You sound just like that guy Mike, the homosexual guy.
I can say probably.
Yeah, no, you can say it, but you'd be lying.
Well,
you're listening to Satan.
I can't get you to be honest, man. I gotta go, man.
Why are you gossiping? You're just a gossip.
I'm not gossiping.
Yes, you are. You're just speculating.
Man.
You're coming up with stuff.
You're in a cult.
You're the one lying.
You're in a cult.
You're the one in a cult. You think you're an Israelite.
You're in Jesse's
Don't you think you're an Israelite?
Don't you
think you're an Israelite? Do you think you're an Israelite?
I don't think it. What do you mean?
You think you're an Israelite?
I don't think it. What are you talking about?
Oh, you don't think you're an Israelite?
No, I know.
Oh, you're not an Israelite?
I know I am.
Oh, see, you're the one in a cult.
No,
you're a complete sucker.
In a cult.
You're a blind, brainwashed sucker coming in and trying to criticize me, and you're simping for women. You're like, you criticize women.
It's made
what a
up.
simp.
All that stuff is made up.
Simp.
And you're a troll.
I'm not a troll, man. I'm telling you the truth.
Life. You have no life. You only hang around guys.
You don't know anything about me. You're just making stuff up. You sound like Joe from Phoenix.
You're closer than Jesse than you are your own father.
You don't know anything about me, man.
You just told me. You just said you don't keep up with your parents.
That doesn't mean I'm not close with my father. You don't know me. You don't understand what close means.
Get your life together.
You get your life together. You think you're an Israelite. You're a blind, brainwashed male. I gotta go, John. We are overtime.
Stop being so
proud. Have a nice day. Anyway, guys, that was fun. TheHakeReport.com for my stuff. JesseLeePeterson.com for JLP's stuff. Did I miss any of the last super chats? Azador says, ask him if it's okay if you enslave members of your own race. Oh, man, good question. Brandon M. says, most of these idiots think they'll have power or stay in the communist utopia, but they'll just be cushioning for the mass graves. Good point, Brandon M. These people who are complying. What a terrible shame. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for the support. If I missed any super chats, I will be checking the Odyssey a little bit more, because there may have been more. But thank you again, and take care.
Yeah.